Good afternoon, my dears. How are you all? Sure, you all are good. So we can go ahead with the chapter that we had started. But before I go ahead, there is a small, like announcement which is to be made. That is, you all will be asking me again that what would be the topic for this new test and all. So this time there is going to be apna living world chapter only, but the number of questions would be more. Okay, so this time the number of questions would be more. Now please note this down. You can note this down that every time for the biodat, that is daily analysis test. Okay, for every time DAT examinations or tests, there would be 25 MCQs. Okay, and for your VAT, that is your weekly analysis test, you will be having BioK 50 MCQs. Okay, so 25 MCQs and 50 MCQs. It's going to be like this way. Huh. Okay, and then you have already received your schedule, I guess. How the which date पे कौन सा DAT होने वाला है, कब VAT होने वाला है, and all those things, right? So in that, this week's topic is going to be based on your living world. Okay, so this week will be your living world 50 MCQ questions. Fine. So every week I'll tell you all that which test would be there. There should not be any confusion. But whatever test you have received till now, ना the schedule का जो पूरा आपको मिला है ना बेटा, वो पूरा का पूरा वैसे मेरे topics already fixed है. So what should I do? You all tell me. You want me to tell it beforehand only, or you want me to tell it in that 1 week prior? What is preferable? आप लोग बोलिए चलिए. I leave it to you all. You want to write down the schedule right now only, how the tests are going to be? Would you all note it down? You all have got that sheet with you all? Okay, will you note it down? Okay, I have written in my diary. Just give me a second. I'll get my diary and I'll write it down. Make you all write now only. So for bio, you're prepared that what is going to be there till 1st of August. ठीक है? ठीक है ना बेटा? Yeah. So just give me a minute. I'll just get my diary. Huh? Just 1 minute. 1 minute. So yeah, you can note it down, my dears. 2/7/2021. That is 2nd July, right? 2nd July. See, wherever there is bio na, there you can note it if you want. It is going to be cell unit of life, up to vacuoles, So that prokaryotic cell, endomembrane system, cell wall, cell membrane. So according to your NCERT textbooks, if you all have purchased it, then it will be 8.5.3.4 up to that. Okay. So till vacuoles, you know what is it. You all have already learnt about it. So you will be having prokaryotic cell, then you will be having a cell wall, cell membrane, endomembrane system में vacuoles तक. ठीक है बेटा? According to your NCERT textbook, I am going to go ahead with. Then 4th, you will be having your VAT. 4th is a Sunday, you will be having VAT. The same topic again. It's again going to be the same topic, but for that, it will be 25 MCQs. For VAT, it will be 50 MCQs. So now the number of questions would be double. समझ में आ रही है बात बेटा? तो दोनों दिन मतलब फ्राइडे को भी आपको वैक्यूल्स तक वाला पोर्शन पढ़ के एग्जाम देनी है और संडे के लिए भी आपको वैक्यूल्स तक वाला पोर्शन ही है. सेम पोर्शन ही है लेकिन नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस डबल हो जाएंगे। समझ में आती है? Yes, my dears, even VAT till vacuole only. Is it okay? Have you all understood? So I'm not changing, I'm not increasing the portion. I'm keeping the portion of your DAT and VAT exactly the same. The only difference will be the number of questions. Okay? Vaishnavi, yeah, but I would, but right now I'm dictating about what? Right now I'm dictating about the exams, na? So, okay. 27th for it will be your living world only. 50 MCQs. Fine. It is going to be living world 50 MCQs. Oh, no issues, but we will see to it. We'll see what can be done. Okay. Yes. Vedansh will try to sort it out. Okay. Don't worry. हाँ, so you all understood? Any confusion in this beta? DAT and VAT का portion same ही है up to vacuoles. Only the thing is, yes, see, DAT and VAT का portion same ही है up to vacuoles. Okay, that is going to be on 2nd of July and 4th of July. Why are you not able to see me? I guess I'm not sharing anything, so you should be able to see me, beta. Okay, sure. So that is 2nd and 4th. Then we'll come to 9th because in that schedule, if you see, 9th July को वापस bio का DAT लगा हुआ है, correct? Right? So 9th July, this Sunday is Living World. This Sunday is Living World 50 MCQs. 27th of June, Living World. 2nd July, up to vacuoles. 4th July, up to vacuoles. 9th July, cell unit of life, mitochondria onwards till the end. Okay? So 9th July will be mitochondria onwards till the end of the chapter. Fine, 20 MCQs based on mitochondria onwards till the end of the chapter. Is it okay? Huh? And 11th July is a Sunday, which will be again your VAT. Same portion, mitochondria up till the end, but 50 MCQs. ठीक है? 9th को और 11th को mitochondria से लेकर end तक रहेगा for DAT and VAT, but number of MCQs अलग है. Is there any confusion among yourselves? Are you all following? Okay. Then 16.7, biological classification. Yes, Ansha, I'll tell them. Yeah. So 16 July would be biological classification up to protozoan. We have not done protozoan, we'll do it today. तो वो तो हो जाएगा, है ना? तो फिलहाल लिख के लो, आपको मैं पूरा जुलाई का पूरा मैं आपको शेड्यूल बता रही हूँ ना, तो फिलहाल लिख के लो बेटा, Okay, so biological classification on 16th July up to protozoan. Same portion on 18th July up to protozoan. Number of MCQs double हो जाएंगे. Okay, समझ में आ रही है बात? 23 July, 23rd July, biological classification from fungi up to the end. ठीक है? Got this? 25th July, fungi up to the end. So it's very simple now. जो आप जहां तक आपको फ्राइडे को पढ़ना है ना बेटा टेस्ट के लिए, सेम चीज मैंने संडे को भी रखी है. I have not increased any content. Okay, I have not increased any content. Same, जो फ्राइडे को दोगे वही संडे को दोगे. I have only increased the number of questions. Did you get this? Have you all followed this? हाँ. Now 30th and 1st का जो है ना, that I'll tell you in the next week, because that I need to like confirm a bit. Okay, so 30th and 1st का मैं फिलहाल नहीं बता रही हूँ, लेकिन आपको 25th तक का पूरा शेड्यूल मिल गया. Got it? So you understood how are we going to go ahead with? Yes, very good. So that's why I said that wait for 2 minutes. I've written in my diary so that you can, I'll give you like this way only. 1 month का मैं आपको है ना schedule देते जाऊंगी बेटा. So what will happen, even you know that how the tests are going to be conducted, right? Well, and there is like, we will, of course, will definitely, yeah, welcome my dears, welcome, it's okay. So it's going to be, like a very systematic way, and it's going to be like once you complete your this chapters now, you start revising it. The reason I'll tell you beta, the reason is बीच में ना आपके क्या कहते हैं collective tests भी होंगे, which will be having 90 MCQs for bio, which are exactly like your NEET paper. Okay, and that 90 MCQs will be, a mixture of the 3 chapters together. That is living world, cell unit of life, and biological classification. सब मिलाकर वो 90 MCQs वाला भी रहेगा बेटा. तो है ना, एक चैप्टर हो गया मतलब बात खत्म. It's not like that way. You will have to revise and re-revise, because that earlier questions are again going to be repeated. I mean, not questions won't be repeated, the topics will be repeated, right? You want for 18th July? Yeah, 1 minute. 18th July, biological classification up to protozoan. Okay? Written, my dear? Yeah. So in between, you will also get, as I said, you will also get this 90 MCQs वाले paper. लेकिन ऐसे नहीं कि आपको कल बताया जाएगा. It will be, properly and given to you all beforehand. Okay. So there will be revision, re-revision, and then re-revisions. Okay, so now these type you will become, like what will happen, you will be so thoroughly prepared for each and every chapter then that you won't have any problem with the NCERT content especially. Okay, fine. Chalo. So that was the important announcement that I had to make for all of you all, so that you can now start studying and start preparing according to the schedule given to you all. The dates and everything is already been, given to you all, posted to you all, right? Sure, fine. So anyone having any difficulty with understanding of these things, or shall I move ahead with the content? Can I go ahead? No confusion na beta? फिर भी don't worry. Every Wednesday को मैं Friday का जो टेस्ट है ना वो एक बार चेरो कंफर्म करते जाऊंगी. कोई टेंशन नहीं है अगर किसी को कोई डिफिकल्टी है तो. ठीक है? Good, my dear. So see, I love you all so much that I have not increased the portion for Monday and for Friday and Sunday. So even you should love me equally is what my expectation is. By what? By studying very nicely and getting very good marks. Correct? Right? Okay, chal, bye. Chal. Let's see what is going to happen today in our biological classification. Yes, my dears. You want me to, yeah, I saw your message, beta. You want me to explain gram positive and gram negative? I'll explain. I will explain. Wait. I'll just share the presentation with you all and I'll explain. Okay, so we have to go ahead with cell membrane, but since you all are having, you have asked me this question of gram positive and gram negative. Yeah, sure, I'll give, my dear. Don't worry. We'll have a short recap, of course. But from here, we had to actually go ahead with. Okay, so historical background. First, we know it was Aristotle, herbs, shrubs, and so on. Then in animals, blood containing, blood not containing. Two Kingdom by Carlos Linnaeus, Plantae and Animalia were the two kingdoms. We saw the difficulties what arise because of only two kingdoms. And then we saw, therefore, came up the three kingdom that was put forward by Ernst Haeckel, which was called as Protesta. Then the fourth one was Monera, from where this Copeland now, years, no need of remembering for this. No need of remembering for this, okay? For this content, no need. Wherever I say, remember the year, only there you will have to remember. These, not necessary. Then Copeland removed all the prokaryotic unicellular from the Protista and formed a new group called as Monera, correct? So Monera basically contains bacteria, as simple as that. Barabar? Then came your fungi, according to Whitaker, non-chlorophyllous, that is non-green color के जो plants हैं, उनको plant में से हटाया गया और एक नया kingdom बनाया गया, and he assigned the name what? Kingdom fungi. Correct? So these were your 5 kingdoms of classification. Then these were the cell type, cell wall, nuclear membrane, body organization, and mode of nutrition. Prime criteria taken for distinguishing between the each of them, right? Then we saw their ecological role, how many of them are producers, how many of them are decomposers, how many are heterotrophic, and so on. Then came the 3-domain classification or 6-kingdom classification, right? That was put forward by Carl Woolf, right? But what happened in his classification, he just divided Monera into two, like Archaea and Eubacteria. So Archaebacteria and Eubacteria both are collectively coming under Monera only. And that particular अपना जो यूकैरिया उन्होंने बनाया हुआ है, it contains 4 kingdoms. That is what? Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia. All 4 were under eukarya. So rather than complicating the things, we are still following the 5 kingdom classification. What are you asking, beta? Monera also has plants and animal prokaryotes. No, my dear. That is going to be Protista. That group is called as Protista. Monera is only and only bacteria. And only 4 types of bacteria that we have seen, which we are going to talk about. Okay. So it does not have anything else. Only bacteria. Okay? Yeah. So these were the 3 domains that we saw. But here, bacteria and archaebacteria together were, according to Whitaker's 5 kingdom classification pattern, both of these were coming under Monera, right? And these were having Protista, fungi, bacteria, plantae, and animalia. So we don't consider 6 kingdoms or 3 domains. In Monera, we saw it is, see, bacteria are the sole members of Monera. Correct? Very clearly written over here. So Monera will not have anything else. It will not have plants. It will not have animals, nothing. It's only and only bacteria. Okay? Well, then we saw eubacteria, that is true bacteria as we call them. 4 types, Foci, Bacilli, Spirilla, and Vibrio, according to their shape. And according to their arrangement, we have got these different types, that is Monococcus, Diplococcus, Tetracoccus, Sarcina, Streptococcus, and Staphylococcus. क्या बोलने का उसको? Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, शाइनिंग मारना है अपने को भाई. हाँ, क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ. Exactly. So staph and strep, correct? Very good. Then came your bacilli, which are rod shaped. Now, students get confused with the word bacteria and bacilli. बैक्टीरिया के टाइप अंदर जो है ना, बैक्टीरिया का सब टाइप जो है ना, वो बैसिलाई है बेटा. सो बैसिलाई का मतलब होता है रॉड. द मीनिंग ऑफ बैसिलाई इज व्हाट? स्मॉल रॉड. सो ओनली दोज बैक्टीरिया which are going to show rod shape will be called as bacilli. Okay, they would be called as bacilli for this. So monobacilli, streptobacilli, diplobacilli, palisade bacilli, and streptobacilli. All these are going to be your different types of bacilli on their arrangement. Cell structure में तो these are the things which we have seen, that is glycocalyx made up of polysaccharide, tight है तो capsule, loose है तो slime mold. Cell wall, peptidoglycan, we had explained about the NAM and NAC and amino acid का structure, how they are joined together by beta-1,4 glycosidic linkages. Then, yeah, there comes your gram positive and gram negative bacteria, beta. So you're in the gram positive and gram negative. We saw the procedure how to do it with crystal violet and Lugol solution or KI solution, potassium iodide, and then ethyl alcohol or acetone, and then counter staining it with saffron and or eosine. That was the process. Make a smear, air dry, heat fix, and so on that we had studied. And then we saw that gram positive have very little lipid content, while gram negative has got a lot of lipid content. Correct? Right? So here in the diagram, you can clearly see that there's so much of this green color they are saying it is lipopolysaccharides. Okay. And also here you can see lipoproteins. Can you see? So lipo कितने lipids है देखो. इसमें लिपोप्रोटीन्स के साथ मतलब लिपिड्स के साथ प्रोटीन्स भी है और इधर लिपिड्स के साथ पॉलीसैकेराइड्स भी है. So there's a lot of lipid that is going to be present in gram negative, and therefore when we wash this particular slide containing gram negative bacteria with ethyl alcohol, the lipid gets dissolved, and because of that whatever stain was embedded inside, even that will get thrown out. Okay, washed out. So that is not seen over here. Here, if you see, you can see only what peptidoglycan. आपको सिर्फ पेप्टिडोग्लाइकैन दिखाई दे रहा है ना बेटा? समझ में आया? इधर जो है, इधर आपको पेप्टिडोग्लाइकैन की लेयर कितनी सिंगल लेयर है देखो, हार्डली लाइक सिंगल. Here it is really thick, 4-layered thick. Okay, got this? So this is the way the structure of gram negative and gram positive is going to differ from each other. Is it okay? Yeah. Stain remains in gram positive. Yes, my dear. Bilkul sahi. So in gram positive, because there is no lipid, there is no question of the stain being lost. It will be retained. Right? Clear? Good. So now we go ahead with something called as the cell membrane, which also we are actually aware of. But still, let's go ahead. It is living, selectively permeable, controlling the movements of various dissolved substances in the cell and out of the cell. It is composed of large amount of phospholipids, proteins, some amounts of polysaccharides, but lacks cholesterol like sterols of eukaryotic membranes. So in the fluid mosaic model that we had discussed in cell unit of life chapter, beta, we have seen that there were cholesterol molecules present. So the prokaryotic cell wall will not have these cholesterol like molecules. They don't have these sterols present. That's the only difference. Otherwise, lipid bilayer, those glycoproteins, intrinsic proteins, tunnel proteins, extrinsic proteins, everything remains the same. There's no change in that. But what is the difference with respect to the content of sterols? It will not have sterols. ठीक है? समझा? Good. The cell membrane gets invaginated and folded. Invaginated means ऐसे अंदर बाहर ऐसे करता है ना, curls ऐसा. That is called as invagination. And folded to form a structure called as mesosome in bacteria. Not all, some bacteria. Particularly it is seen in gram-positive bacteria. So here you can see these mesosomes. Can you see this? So here look at the name what they have given. Central mesosome, peripheral mesosome. Right? ये दो words यहाँ पर बिल्कुल clearly दिखाई दे रहे हैं बेटा. That central mesosome and peripheral mesosome. Correct? Sterols are आएगा. Biomolecules chapter में you will come to know about what are sterols also. Okay, you will come to know. So here they are not going to be present. Here they are not going to be present. Now, if you see over here, what is that? What is the thing that you're talking about? The mesosome. Mesosome is of two types: septal mesosome, also called as the central mesosome, and lateral mesosome, also called as the peripheral mesosome. Okay, तो septal या central, देखिए कैसे है? Almost इसके center में है, और ये जो है ये ऐसे periphery पे है. So this is called as lateral mesosome. So there could be many lateral mesosomes, but central mesosome एक ही होता है. Correct? Septal mesosome comes in contact with nucleoid, and peripheral or the lateral mesosome is not attached to nucleoid. That is the difference. जो central mesosome है ना, वो nucleoid मतलब अपना बैक्टीरिया का क्रोमोसोम बेटा, बैक्टीरिया का DNA, that is your nucleoid, right? So it is going to get attached to the nucleoid, right? Whereas in case of the lateral ones, they are not attached with the nucleoid. Rather, what is the function? See, septal mesosome replicates with the replication of the nucleoid, takes part in separation of the replicated nucleoids, and helps in septum formation. So just like how our spindles help in cell division, na, in the same way, this septal mesosome, na, what it will do, it will divide once the nucleoid is going to get, divided. Okay, and then it will form a furrow, and it will help in cell division also. So that is the main function of central mesosome. That is going to be cell division. Okay. Lateral mesosome, on the other hand, contains respiratory enzymes. It is also called as chondrioid. So this peripheral one is not associated with cell division. It is associated with storing of the enzymes required for the process of respiration. No matter, nucleoid is different, plasmid is different. Nucleoid is going to be the bacterial DNA, and plasmid is going to be an extra chromosomal structure. So it's going to be DNA only, but it's an extra, other than the normal DNA, it is going to be an extra copy of DNA. And your genomic DNA or the nucleoid is quite large. Plasmids are very small. Okay, so they aren't the same. Fine. So that is all about your cell membrane of the bacteria. Any difficulty, beta? Any doubts? Membrane, प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल तो हमने ऑलरेडी किया था, सो ये रिविजन के जैसे ही है, but still. Okay. Then the next is cytoplasm. So here you can see it is homogeneous colloidal mass of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, lipids, nucleic acid, minerals, and water, all mixed together, right? The various components of cytoplasm are as follows. First, ribosomes, 30S and 50S. So a large number of ribosomes, around 20,000 to 30,000 ribosomes lie scattered freely in the cytoplasm, but sometimes may form a helical chain of 4 to 6 ribosomes called as polyribosomes or polysomes by means of mRNA strands. So this is the structure of this polyribosome. बेटा ये जो आपको ब्लू कलर का थ्रेड दिखाई दे रहा है बीच में, ये जो थ्रेड है ना ब्लू कलर का, दिस थ्रेड इज योर mRNA. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ दैट थ्रेड? mRNA. एंड ये जो आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं, एक बड़ा सब यूनिट, एक छोटा सब यूनिट. So larger subunit, smaller subunit, larger subunit, smaller subunit. So on this one mRNA molecule, there are so many ribosomes sitting together. And if you see from each ribosome, ऐसे एक spiral structure बाहर निकल रहा है. Can you see that? So this spiral structure which is being shown coming out now, it's your polypeptide chain. Okay. So there would be so many polypeptide chains being formed from each of the ribosomes. Right? So this particular structure will be called as polyribosome or polysome. So now I understood what is a polysome. Poly means many. Soma is body. So many bodies will be attached to the same mRNA molecule to form a structure like this. Okay? Yeah. Ribosomes are of 70S type. 2 subunits are 50 and 30. Then we know what is inclusion bodies also. That also we have done in cell units. So see, these are non-living, non-structural materials which lie free in the cytoplasm. These are of three types: food reserves, that is glycogen, protein granules, etc. Inorganic granules, that is volatile granules, phosphate. Volatile granules actually क्या है? Phosphate के granules है. Sulfur granules, etc. Or it may have vacuoles, gas vacuoles especially. So these all things you all also know. Revision हो रहा है देखो आपका. The gas vacuoles are useful in maintaining buoyancy and protection against harmful radiations. Right? Correct? So they should not sink to the bottom of the water. So they should be able to float on water. That is called as buoyancy. And they are also going to protect them from harmful radiations. Gas vacuoles. Okay? Then photosynthetic pigment. Yeah. Now these photosynthetic pigments are very specific names. You have to remember them better. They are bacteriochlorophyll and bacteriophyophytin as well as carotenoids. In purple sulfur bacteria, the pigments are associated with the thylakoid membranes that are formed by invaginations of plasma membranes. Now I'll tell you very simple. in bacteria, thylakoid cannot be present because thylakoid is a structure seen in chloroplast, right? You remember cell unit of life में हमने chloroplast किया था. So उसमें what I told you that coins which are stacked together is grana, right? And that granum will be having stacks of thylakoids. So there's coins, individual coins were called as thylakoids. But that was in eukaryotic cell. This is a prokaryotic bacteria. So it will not have thylakoids. But thylakoid के जैसे structures बनेंगे by the foldings of the mesosomes. So as the mesosomes will fold now, what is the structure they will make? They'll make a disc-shaped structure, right? Which resembles the thylakoid. Okay. And the pigments, that is bacteriochlorophyll and bacteriophyophytin, would be associated with these membranes. The plasma membrane का infolding zone में. अलग से कोई thylakoid करके कुछ special कुछ होता नहीं है उसमें, right? The green sulfur bacteria में क्या हो रहा है देखो? The photosynthetic pigments occur inside small sacs called as chlorosomes. Now, what are these sacs again? What are these sacs, beta? These are also the invaginations of the plasma membrane, but the shape is not going to be like a disc or a lamella. It's going to be like a small circle. So that will be called as the chlorosomes. Okay. So we have got purple sulfur bacteria, green sulfur bacteria. Okay. And what are the pigments? Bacteriochlorophyll. Easy है याद रखना. Chlorophyll आपको पता है is associated with this thing अपना photosynthesis. So bacteriochlorophyll and bacteriophyophytin. Fine. So दोनों नाम along with carotenoids याद रखिएगा बेटा. Then we have got the nuclear body, also called as nucleoid, genophore, incipient nucleus, bacterial chromosome. बहुत सारे नाम हैं. हाँ. Chlorosomes and chromatophores are the same or different. See, chlorosomes is the word which will be used for eubacteria, and chromatophores will be the word which will be used for cyanobacteria. Okay, very good question. In fact, very nice question. But that's the only difference. Well, I'll tell you why it is called like that way also. Na? I'll tell you. Very good question, beta. Must question hai, Pia. Very nice. Well, so now we come to what? The nuclear body. So nothing but your DNA of bacteria. See, bacterial cells lack well-organized nucleus. Yeah, my dear. Yes, Vaishnavi, you're right, beta. They are going to be present in those folds. Yes, yes. Perfect, perfect. The nuclear material consisting of single, naked. Why naked? It does not have a nuclear membrane around it. Therefore, it is naked. Circular, double-stranded DNA molecule. तो ये जो न्यूक्लियर बॉडी, न्यूक्लियोइड, बैक्टीरियल क्रोमोसोम, जीनोफोर, इनसेपिएंट न्यूक्लियस, मैंने सारे लिखे हैं नीचे. हाँ, तो ये सारे ना सिनोनिम्स है बेटा, ये सारे सिनोनिम्स है. तो कभी कभी ये नीट वाले क्या करते हैं ना, just to give tension, what do they do, you know? Instead of saying bacterial chromosome, they say incipient nucleus. अरे बाप रे, अभी ये तो नाम कभी हमने सुना ही नहीं है. जीनोफोर, ये क्या है, नया ही है कुछ, ये तो कुछ पता नहीं है, इसीलिए मैंने इधर ही डाल दिया. These all are synonyms. These all are going to be your synonyms only. Okay, so whatever question comes as genophore, incipient nucleus हो या nucleoid हो, it's nothing, it's bacterial chromosome. And how is it? It is naked, it is double stranded, and it is one single. एक ही होता है. There are not 46 chromosomes like how we have got. They'll be having only one large present in their cytoplasm. Okay, so see, it is identified as nuclear body, nucleoid, genophore, incipient nucleus, bacterial chromosome, anything. Okay, it is attached to the plasma membrane directly by the means of mesosome, that is your central mesosome, which we just now saw, or septal mesosome. Circular DNA ring is often termed as bacterial chromosome or prochromosome also. So कितने सारे नाम है देखो. It is not associated with histone proteins. So in case of eukaryotic cells, DNA will always get wound around the histone proteins. We have seen euchromatin, heterochromatin, histone octamer in cell unit of life. Here, there is no histones. Histone free. ठीक है, हाँ, नो बेटा प्रिंट आउट्स नहीं, you will be getting the notes. Okay, so you can keep this as a soft copy with you all and you can refer this anytime. Okay, and hard copy के जो है ना वो booklets मिलेंगे आपको. You'll be given the booklets for reading and solving. Okay, हाँ, there will be no nucleosome in bacteria. No, my dear, no nucleosome in bacteria. हाँ हाँ, mostly these things only. Okay, maybe not line to line, word to word, but almost the content will be the same. ठीक है, okay, so huh. Then we come to plasmids. So see, my dear, someone had asked me about the plasmids. So here it is the answer to your question. This is going to be the bacterial chromosome, which is double-stranded, one single naked, है ना, circular type of DNA. That is your bacterial chromosome. And here there is an extra chromosomal structure. So what are plasmids? They are small, self-replicating, autonomous, extra chromosomal, single, circular DNA present in the cytoplasm. Correct? So this is going to be your plasmid. It actually looks like this way. Huh? This is the diagrammatic explanation. This is the actual image that has been taken under the electron microscope. So when we look under the electron microscope, the plasmids appear like this. This thing. Fine? Okay. Now look at the prefixes. Look at the prefixes, what they are there. Okay. But again, I've got a class. You can call me at around, say, 8 o'clock or something. Huh? 8 o'clock will be fine. Because after your class, again, I've got a class. Fine? Okay. Well, then look at this. Look at this. They are small, self-replicating. You can see this picture very clearly now. It's smaller than the bacterial DNA. Self-replicating means it will not wait for the cell to divide. It will replicate on its own. That means it can make whatever number of copies it wants to. ठीक है? Autonomous. Autonomous means dependent on no one. It is capable of doing everything on its own. Extra chromosomal. This is your chromosome. It is an extra chromosomal outside the chromosome. Single. एक है circular DNA present in the cytoplasm. Okay. What is the function of these plasmids, beta? What is the function of these plasmids? They endo some extra properties to the bacteria, which are often useful, but not essential for their living. So if they are there, it's good, but it's not like that way that if plasmids are not there, the organisms cannot sustain or survive, right? So they form, what are the forms of plasmids? There are only three. F plasmid, having fertility factor. R plasmid, having resistance to antibiotics. Call plasmids, producing polycenes or bacteriocins that kill related bacteria. So F plasmid के बारे में थोड़ा सा मैंने डिटेलिंग पर्पसली किया है. It is not there in your books, but I have, like given a bit about it. So what is this F? The one which is going to have F plasmid will be having fertility factor. What is this fertility factor? What it is going to give, I'll tell in detail in the part called as sexual reproduction in bacteria. आगे आएगा. आज ही पढ़ाऊंगी, अभी पढ़ाऊंगी 10 मिनट में. ठीक है, तो ये एफ प्लाज्मिड का रोल तो मैं बताऊंगी. आर प्लाज्मिड क्या करता है पता है? इफ दिस इज अ बैक्टीरियल सेल एंड इट इज हैविंग दिस आर प्लाज्मिड इन इट, so that R plasmid now it will not have, like it will have the capacity to safeguard the bacterial cell from antibiotics. तो कितने भी एंटीबायोटिक्स आप खाते हो तो भी उसका कोई असर नहीं पड़ेगा वो बैक्टीरिया के ऊपर, है ना? या एग्जैक्टली. तो उसके ऊपर ना बेटा कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. वो उसको आराम से उस एंटीबायोटिक को आराम से है ना ये कर सकता है, इम्यून हो जाता है वो, उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. क्यों? बिकॉज इट इज हैविंग अ प्लाज्मिड which is responsible for this resistance. And as I had told you, your collicines also मैंने आपको बताया था सेल में, it will not allow its own similar type of organisms to grow. So if someone is suffering from a particular bacterial infection, the other bacteria will not generally grow, but staphylo आ सकता है. मैंने आपको बताया है कि स्टैफ जो अपना है वो अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक है, तो स्टैफ के लिए कॉलिसीन्स कुछ काम के नहीं है. ओके. Yeah, why do we take antibiotics? Because it's not necessary that every bacteria will have plasmids in it. There are so many which would not have. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what is the meaning of fertility. I'll tell you what is the meaning of fertility when I talk about the sexual reproduction. Okay. I'll tell you. Okay. The next is the structure called as flagella. Again, we have already have heard about it. Flagella are fine protoplasmic threads projecting from the cell wall. Each flagellum is made up of three parts: basal body, hook, and filament. Basal body forms the base. You can see this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the rings, right? LPSM rings. Can you see them? These forms the basal body. Okay. Hook is the middle curved part of the filament of the flagella, and filament is the longest and the most obvious portion of the flagellum. So you can see this is the hook which is curved, and this is going to be the filament which is actually going to extend outside. Flagella is made up of specific proteins called as flagellin. Simple. We have done so. Well, depending upon the presence or absence of flagella and the number of flagella and their position, following types of flagellar arrangements have been observed among bacteria. Atrichus. This is atrichus. Can you see this diagram, beta? A means flagella absent, no flagella present. Atrichus. Monotrichus, having only one single flagella. Monotrichus. Okay. Cephalotrichus, a tuft of flagella formed on one side. टफ्ट समझते हो, एक ही पॉइंट से बहुत सारे फ्लैजेला निकल आते हैं, उसको हम कहते हैं टफ्ट, राइट? या एग्जैक्टली. एम्फीट्रिकस, लाइक अ बेलन. बेलन होता है ना रोटी बनाने का, दोनों साइड से वो ऐसे टेपरिंग होता है, लाइक दैट वे. सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी वन ऑन ईच साइड. एम्फी मींस बोथ द साइड्स. Okay, so on both the sides there's going to be one flagella each. That is amphitrichus. Look at this lophotrichus, tuft of flagella on both the sides. Both the sides you get tuft of flagella, then we call it as lophotrichus. And peritrichus, flagella all over the body. पूरे body पे flagella present होता है. ठीक है? So which are the different C? Atrichus, monotrichus, cephalotrichus, amphitrichus, lophotrichus, peritrichus. Okay. See, now your lactobacilli, so you all know what is lactobacilli. It does not have a flagella. Vibrio cholerae is the one who is going to cause cholera. ठीक है? Thiobacillus is a normal soil bacteria. Pseudomonas के types बहुत सारे हैं, और वो कभी-कभी मतलब Pseudomonas dinitrificans एकदम famous है, जो मतलब नाइट्रोजन साइकिल में हेल्प करता है. Pseudomonas. Nitrosomonas, it's also going to be associated with nitrogen metabolism. Spirulum, you can see spirulum हमने last class में भी देखे थे. Lophotrichus is going to be a spirulum, spring-like and having flagella. Peritrichus, salmonella, which causes typhoid. E. coli, which causes colitis. But in our normal large intestine, E. coli is normally present. Always. It's our normal flora. मतलब क्या, हर एक के इंटेस्टाइन में इकोलाई होना ही चाहिए. अगर इकोलाई का लेवल कम हो जाता है ना, तो डाइजेशन में प्रॉब्लम आ जाता है. तो व्हाट डज द रोल ऑफ इकोलाई, हाउ द इकोलाई हेल्प्स इन डाइजेशन, इन द चैप्टर कॉल्ड एज डाइजेशन आई विल बी टीचिंग यू. मस्त चैप्टर है वो. डाइजेशन, ब्रीदिंग एंड एक्सचेंज, अरे इतना मजा आता है ना वो चैप्टर्स में. यू माइट हैव नेवर थॉट ऑफ इट. ऐसे ऐसे सब प्रोसेसेस है उसमें. ओके, मजा आएगा. वो भी अभी धीरे धीरे वो भी स्टार्ट हो जाएगा. दिस इज द स्पीशीज नेम बेटा. दिस इज द स्पीशीज नेम. दिस इज द जीनस नेम. सो एवरीवन विल हैव जीनस एंड स्पीशीज नेम. इधर उन्होंने सिर्फ जीनस नेम दिए है. विब्रियो कॉलेरे के लिए भी उन्होंने genus and species दिया है. So somewhere they have given genus and species, somewhere they have given only the genus name. Okay. Well, pili also you know, right? These are hollow, non-helical filamentous appendages projecting from the walls of gram-negative bacteria. These are thinner and shorter than the flagella. They are made up of specific proteins called as pillin. Pili helps in the attachment of the bacterial cells during conjugation. Fimbriae, small bristle-like fibers which develop from the surface of the bacterial cells. They are many in numbers, 300 to 400 per cell. They take part in attachment, mutual aggregation, or attachment to the host tissue. So same things again repeated. Correct? Still any doubts with any of the sentences that we have read till now? Conjugation. I told you what is conjugation. It forms a conjugation bridge for connection. Mutual aggregation, attachment with each other. They get attached to each other. That is called as mutual aggregation. साबूदाना खिचड़ी खाते हो? साबूदाना खिचड़ी खाते हो? हाँ, अब वो साबूदाना खिचड़ी की एक स्पेशलिटी होती है. क्या होती है बेटा? कभी कभी वो साबूदाने जो होते हैं ना, वो फ्री होते हैं, फ्री है ना, और कभी कभी म्यूचुअल एग्रीगेशन में चले जाते हैं. करेक्ट? समझा? They form lumps. They form lumps. They get joined together, right? Huh. Yeah, transfer of material. Yeah, what is that material? I'll tell you. Okay. Yeah. What is transferred? Plasmid is transferred in conjugation. In conjugation, I'll be talking about it. Don't worry. I'll be talking about it. Yeah, it gets sticky now after cooking. I know that is what. So sometimes it gets very clumpy. Ray. ऐसे clumps or lumps बन जाते हैं. That is mutual aggregation. Right. Okay, fine. So that's all with your structure. Then we come to the end part of it. That is reproduction. For Monera, eubacteria, reproduction would be the concluding part of eubacteria. So let us see. Bacteria reproduces mainly by vegetative and asexual methods of reproduction. They also reproduce by a that word sort of is important. They also reproduce by sort of sexual reproduction by adopting primitive type of DNA transfer from one bacterium to another bacterium. Now see, my dears, forget about the bacteria. I'm not talking about the bacteria at present. Just think about the spermatozoa and the ova getting fertilized. You know? So the sperm and the egg, when they fertilize, what actually happens is the sperm ka head will actually enter inside the ova or the egg, right? Then that entire nuclear membrane will get dissolved. Okay, nuclear membrane will get dissolved. And actually what is happening? 23 chromosomes in the egg and 23 chromosomes of the sperm, they come together. Right? They come together means they come to lie in that same egg now. Eventually, a covering will develop over it. Which will be called as the nuclear membrane, of course. Right? And then that is called as what? Sexual reproduction. So what happens in sexual reproduction? Technically, if you see, it's nothing but bringing of two different DNAs together. Bottom line of this, what is it, my dear? What is the bottom line of this discussion? That ultimately in that zygote, what is ultimately going to be present? DNA, right? One set of DNA will be from the egg and other set of DNA will be from the sperm. So egg means it will be from one female individual, sperm means it will be from one male individual, right? So two different individuals are contributing in bringing together DNA of two different origins. Agreed or not? So when we say sexual reproduction is fusion of gametes, agreed, fusion of gametes, but technically what is it? Bringing together two different DNAs from two different sources, right? Now these bacteria are so simple organisms, they don't have their cell machinery itself. It doesn't have any cell organelle. Then how is it possible for them to make gametes and all? Not possible. So it is a sort of sexual reproduction wherein a piece of DNA from some different bacteria will be entering into this bacterial cell. That is sexual reproduction. So it is not going to be as complex and as extensive as seen in human beings. Not at all. It's just simple transfer of a piece of DNA from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell. Got it? Clear? Yeah. So we'll be talking about it, of course. So first is vegetative reproduction. It takes place by binary fission and budding. Sometimes under unfavorable conditions, they may produce spores, and those spores are endospores. Now, what do you mean by the word endospore? I'll just quickly help you all with that word because I don't guess endospores के बारे में कहीं है. Okay. I'll just quickly tell you all what are these endospores. Okay, just pay attention. Just pay attention. It's very easy to understand what is endospore, but still. Yeah. So you're trying to draw a bacterial cell. So suppose this is going to be the bacterial cell. Okay, this is the bacterial cell. And here in the center, I'm trying to draw the bacterial chromosome. Right. So this is the bacterial chromosome. It's double-stranded, so I have to make it double-stranded, beta. Yeah, this is the double-stranded bacterial chromosome, nucleoid, incipient nucleus, genophore, whatever name is there. Okay. Along with that, it is also going to have extra chromosomal DNA, suppose, or it's not going to have. Forget about that. Now, what happens under unfavorable conditions? Okay. Under unfavorable conditions, there is going to be formation of something like this, beta. So what has happened? Under unfavorable condition, what has happened? It has received a layer of protection, right? It has received a layer of protection. Yes. Yeah. Now, after that, it will receive one more layer of protection. It's going to receive one more layer of protection. You can see the black one is also there, and I've made a red one also about. Okay, clear? After that, it will have one more layer of protection. So it's going to have one more layer of protection. So you can see this blue one which I'm making right now above it. So what has happened, beta? What has happened because of this? What has happened because of this? Everything, the bacteria, chlorophyll, inclusion bodies, if plasmid is there, then the plasmid, the cytoplasm, whatever is there, now it's going to be separated from the bacterial chromosome. Yeah, like a cyst layer. Very nice, beta. Exactly. And what will happen because of that, ये जो circle है ना, बाहर वाला ये जो circle है ना, ये पूरा निकल जाएगा. फेवरेबल नहीं है, कंडीशंस आर अनफेवरेबल. तो ये जो स्पोर बना ना, ये प्री लेयर्ड स्पोर जो बना है ना, वो बैक्टीरियल सेल के अंदर बना, ना कि बैक्टीरियल सेल के बाहर बना. इसलिए ये स्पोर को हम क्या कहते हैं? वी कॉल दिस स्पोर एज एंडोस्पोर. Did you all understand what is an endospore? So the protective layers will be formed inside the bacterial cells, only preventing the bacterial chromosome. That particular structure will be called as bacterial endospores. Endo means inside. Spores produced inside the bacterial cell. Is it clear? Followed about this endospore word. Any confusion with anyone, my dears? बिल्कुल समझा? अच्छी बात. So actually if I try to rub that बाहर वाला condition ना, मुझे लगता है कि ये पूरा का पूरा ही चला जाएगा, है ना? या रह गया. तो ये जो बचा है ना बेटा, ये क्या होता है ना, ये लिबरेट हो जाता है into the atmosphere and it is protected by three coverings. So it can withstand the adverse condition, and whenever the condition will become favorable, the spore will germinate again to form the bacterial cell. Easy? Easy. What is endospore? Chal. Very good. It could be any. It could be high temperatures. It could be scarcity of food. It could be scarcity of humid conditions, or it could be like if they are thermophilic bacteria and if they are kept in psychrophilic condition, it would be unfavorable for them. It could be any. It could be with respect to temperature, dryness, humidity, water, food scarcity, anything. Okay. Definition of what? Endospore. The spore produced inside the vegetative cell of bacteria is called as endospore. The spore produced inside the vegetative cell of the bacteria. ठीक है? Okay, fine. So good. You all have understood this. Well, then we go ahead with the next one. That is genetic recombination. So what is genetic recombination? Is what I was talking about. That is sexual reproduction that they call it. Okay. Typical sexual reproduction is absent in bacteria because of absence of haploid diploid alternation. But gene recombination occurs by three methods: conjugation, transformation, and transduction. So it's not possible to have a proper sexual cycle. So like the gametes being haploid and organisms being diploid. So haploid diploid ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है ये बैक्टीरिया में, बहुत सिंपल है ना? But definitely there are three methods by which the DNA transfer can be taking place. So the first is conjugation, as you can see over here. This is also called as parasexual reproduction. Very important word, my dears. It's called as parasexual reproduction. Okay. Conjugation is coming together of two cells, and it involves transfer of genetic material from one bacterium to another through cell to cell contact. It was first discovered in E. coli, that is Escherichia coli, by Lederberg and Tatum. So here, Nabita, just focus on this diagram. These are the two bacteria, right? This bacteria is having pili. देखो कितने सारे pili है इसके ऊपर, है या नहीं? So one of the pili na, it is going to form a conjugation bridge. Can you see this conjugation bridge being formed on the bacteria which is lacking pili? इधर है क्या? इसके ऊपर pili है क्या? नहीं है, राइट? सो द सेल्स विच आर लैकिंग पिलाई ना, उनको अट्रैक्ट करेगा ये पिलाई कंटेनिंग वाला बैक्टीरिया, उसको अट्रैक्ट करेगा. जैसे ये वाली बैक्टीरिया उसके पास आएगा ना, वो उसको कनेक्ट करेगा विद द पिलाई टू फॉर्म दिस कॉन्जुगेशन ब्रिज. ओके, नाउ प्लीज पे अटेंशन. What is getting transferred? The blue color part is the bacterial chromosome, while the purple color part is the plasmid. So who is getting transferred, beta? Is the bacterial chromosome getting transported or is the plasmid DNA getting transported? कौन जा रहा है? क्या दिख रहा है आपको? Correct ना? Plasmid जा रहा है ना बेटा? Exactly. So who is going to get transported during this conjugation? The plasmid DNA is going to undergo transfer from one cell to another cell. ठीक है? अब क्या हो गया पता है आपको? नाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्पल कलर का जो प्लाज्मिड यहाँ पर दिखाई दिया है, इट इज दैट प्लाज्मिड जिसके वजह से ये पिलाई फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है. It is just because of the plasmid that it is capable of forming this pili. This was not having pili. Now what will happen? Since this bacteria will get this purple color ka plasmid over here, eventually over a period of time, even this bacteria will get the capacity to produce pili on it. समझ में आ गया? तो जो F negative था, F stands for fertility. Okay, so जो F negative bacterium tha, which was not having the F plasmid, now the F plasmid will be transferred onto it with the help of another F plus bacteria, and now ये जो F minus है या F negative है ना, उसको भी capacity मिल जाएगी पिलाई बनाने की. तो अब क्या हो जाएगा? दो लोग हो गए जिनके पास पिलाई है, तो वापस कुछ देर के बाद ये वाला जो पिलाई ऑलरेडी जिसके पास है वो और एक नॉन पिलाई वाले को अट्रैक्ट करेगा, इसको कैपेसिटी आ जाएगी पिलाई बनाने की, तो ये और एक नॉन पिलाई वाले को अट्रैक्ट करेगा. तो अभी दो लोगों ने दो लोगों को अट्रैक्ट किया, सो नाउ देयर वुड बी 4 बैक्टीरिया विद द पिलाई. सो ऑल 4 विल अगेन attract another 4 and so on. Did you understand? Yeah, it has the attractive capacity. It is because of the hormones which are going to be synthesized, certain chemical substances which will be synthesized by the pili to attract the other bacteria. Did you all understand? So what is F factor? What is fertility factor? What is F plasmid? What is F positive? The one which is having the F plasmid is F positive. The one which is not having the F plasmid is F negative. So you can call this as donor also and this as recipient also. So beta, just understand, it is not the bacterial DNA which is transferred, it is the plasmid DNA of the bacteria which is getting transferred, but it is a piece of DNA only na. So two different types of DNA coming inside one cell, therefore this is called as what? Sexual reproduction. Technically speaking इसमें reproduction कुछ नहीं हो रहा है वैसे देखा जाए तो. Okay. हाँ, yes बेटा, yes कृष्णा, you're perfectly right. So eventually है ना, पूरा population positive हो ही जाएगा. Correct? जितने भी उधर है ना बैक्टीरिया, सब लोग पॉजिटिव हो ही जाएंगे. Did you all understand this? Any difficulty in understanding conjugation? Anyone who has not understood conjugation? It has got two possibilities, beta. Very good, Bhumi. Very nice question. So there are two types of methods. In one method, which is called as male sterile method or sterile male method, the entire plasmid will be transported. And there is another method called as fertile male method, in which pieces of plasmids will be transported. Okay. But as of now, you just remember that it is the plasmid which is going to get transported in the F negative cell. Okay. Yeah. Only the ones in which plasmids are present. Yes, my dear. बिल्कुल सही. हाँ. If plasmids not there, then it is negative. Yes, my dear. No plasmid, so negative. Plasmid is there, so positive. ठीक है? Got it? Okay. Any doubts? ये नया है, ये आपने सेल यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ में नहीं किया है, ये स्पेसिफिकली इन दिस चैप्टर डिटेलिंग करना पड़ता है हमें. So I hope you all have understood. Yeah. Yes, my dear. Both are double strand. Yes. Both. Transfers all the DNA, then will it lose its capacity to produce more pili? No, plasmids are replicative, autonomous, self-replicating. So before donating, they'll make their own copies. Before donating, it has already made its own copies. स्मार्ट है वो, बहुत स्मार्ट है ना. भाई किसी को कुछ देना है तो पहले अपने पास उसका स्टॉक होना चाहिए, तो ही दूसरे को देंगे, नहीं तो नहीं देंगे. या सी प्रोकैरियोटिक बैक्टीरिया कुछ नहीं है उनमें और फिर भी इतने स्मार्ट है. देखो, इसलिए मैं बोलती हूँ, हमेशा बोलती हूँ, डोंट डू डोंकी वर्क, डू स्मार्ट वर्क. है ना. चलो, बट यू ऑल आर स्मार्ट, आई नो. या if you have got two chocolates, then only you will give one. अरे तू मिल मुझे, come on. Let me, like if you meet me, then I'll be happy that at least you're ready to give one chocolate, na. If I have got 10 chocolates, I'll not even give one chocolate. I'm sorry. If I've got 100 chocolates, I'll not even give one chocolate. I love chocolates. So मेरे पास 2 हो या 200 हो, मेरा दिल नहीं करता है. Actually, so yeah, thank you, my dear. I can give anything else and everything else, I don't mind, but chocolates अगर है तो भाई वैसे बहुत दिलो जान पे आ जाता है अगर किसी को देना है तो. No, but in master class, what is the thing? The one now, it's like, it's this pandemic is going on and no physical lectures are possible and all. But in master class, there is a trend. Whoever is the topper of the class for that particular exam is always given a chocolate. बड़ा वाला अच्छा वाला डेयरी मिल्क चॉकलेट देने का मास्टर क्लास का ट्रेंड है. No, I will never have milk. Okay, so that I used to give. I'll definitely give, I love to give maximum chocolates, because if there are 3 toppers, then I'll give 3 chocolates to the 3 students. So, even you top the list, record maintain करेंगे, जब मिलेंगे ना तो एकदम bulk में chocolates मिलेंगे तुम लोग को, है ना? It's a trend. You can ask our, earlier batch students also. So they used to feel very like वो chocolate का एक अलग मजा है, वो बात अलग है. लेकिन in front of the class, we felicitate that child. We bring that, we ask the student to come on the, where we stand and teach you, and they are felicitated by giving chocolates to them. So मस्त लगता है वो भी. हाँ, वो जाके अलग बात होती थी कि वो बच्चे लोग फिर मेरे साथ आके शेयर करके ही हम लोग खाते थे चॉकलेट. बता के रखती हूँ, मतलब अगर तुम्हें मिला तो यू शुड नो व्हाट इज टू बी डन विद दोस चॉकलेट्स ना. Okay, चलो फाइन, इनफ ऑफ टॉक्स, लेट्स कम टू वर्क अगेन. Okay. Sure, my dear. Sure, sure, sure. We'll go ahead with that. Sure. Well, then we come to something called as transformation, which is second method of sexual reproduction. Okay, let us see what is it. It is the change in genetic constitution of a bacterium by picking genes of its dead relatives present in the outside medium and integrating the same in the nucleoid. Okay, transformation was discovered by Griffith. Now, what do you mean by that? Please understand this very nicely. Of course, the entire experiment, which is called as Griffith's experiment, is there in your 12th standard syllabus under uh, principles of inheritance. वो चैप्टर में ग्रिफिथ्स नहीं मॉलिक्यूलर बेसिस ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस वो चैप्टर में ग्रिफिथ्स एक्सपेरिमेंट पूरी की पूरी है. What do you mean by this? I'm trying to explain you in a very short way. ठीक है? See. Now this is one bacterium. Okay, this is a bacterial cell. Even this is a bacterial cell. Now this is a living bacteria. This is a living bacteria. This is a dead bacteria. This is a dead bacteria. How has Griffith killed it? So Griffith has heated this bacterium. उसको heat से मतलब पूरा heat full कराकर उसको boil कराया. Boil कराने के बाद क्या हो गया बेटा? वो बैक्टीरिया पूरा का पूरा किल हो गया. लेकिन उसका जो DNA था ना, it got converted into these fragments. See, can you see? The bacterial DNA is getting converted into fragments because of killing. Okay. Now this living bacteria will pick up the DNA pieces of the dead bacteria and it will incorporate that piece into its own chromosome. Did you understand how it has happened? So killing of this bacteria by heating, the DNA got fragmented. These fragmented or these pieces of DNA were then picked up by the living bacteria, which were then incorporated into this bacterial chromosome. This is called as transformation. Any difficulty in understanding what is transformation? So you can read it one more time. See, it is the change in the genetic constitution. It's now blue plus red. So initially it was only blue. Now red has also got incorporated. So it is a change in the genetic constitution of a bacterium by picking up genes. See, these are the DNA fragments, the genes, right? From whom have they picked up? From the dead relatives. Relatives होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि एक सुडोमोनास है और स्टेफाइलोकोकस है, नहीं चलेगा. They should be related. They should be related to each other. Okay. So means the bacteria should be the same. Okay. Integrating the same in the nucleoid. Transformation was discovered by Griffith. Okay. It has got its own chromosome beta, but while undergoing the replication process, it requires new DNA to be synthesized. Na? So ये तो ready-made मिल रहा है, तो उसका उतना energy बच जाएगा. नया बनाने से अच्छा है जो मिल रहा है फ्री में ले लो. Correct? So it's going to pick up always. Related as in same species? Yes, beta. Same species. Same species. बिल्कुल सही. बिल्कुल सही. ठीक है? Well, last is transduction. That is, it is the process of carrying over genes from one bacterium to another through the agency of virus. So here, the great virus is going to help in transfer of DNA. Transduction was discovered by Zinder and Lederberg. Conjugation by Lederberg and Tatum. Transformation by Griffith. And transduction by Zinder and Lederberg. Do not get confused. Okay. The genes do not get killed when the bacterium is killed. No, the genes won't get killed. They will undergo denaturation. They are proteins basically and DNA. So they'll undergo denaturation. That is, they will melt. But when the temperature cools down, they cannot form a complete strand, but they can form aggregates. Those are the fragments. Okay, right? Yeah. Look at this transduction. This is the virus. And this virus is called as the bacteriophage, the one which is going to always attack the bacterial cell. है ना? तो ये देखो, इसने क्या करा? इसने ना ये जो है ये बैक्टीरिया का क्रोमोसोम है, which is shown in pink. And ये जो है ये वायरस लेके आया है DNA. बैक्टीरिया डोनर बैक्टीरियल DNA है ये वायरस लेके आया. अब क्या हो जाएगा? ये ग्रे पीस या ब्लू पीस, whatever the color is, will get incorporated into this pink one. So just like this, don't you think even this is going to occur? So DNA of two different origin will come together. So what is sexual reproduction or parasexuality in bacteria? Coming together of DNA from two different sources. That's it. That's it. It takes place naturally. It may take place naturally also. Okay. So all three methods understood: conjugation, transformation, transduction. Anyone who has got any difficulty in understanding these points? Got it? Very good. So we'll go ahead. Sure. So that's all with your eubacteria. Now we come to cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is not as long as eubacteria. It's almost the same. So let us understand them. Cyano means blue, bacteria is rod or blue-green algae or gram-negative photosynthetic prokaryotes, being the most primitive organisms to have oxygenic photosynthesis. My dears, my request to you all, never forget that cyanobacteria are the pioneers of oxygenic photosynthesis. What do you mean by the word oxygenic photosynthesis? The photosynthesis which involves release of oxygen is called as oxygenic photosynthesis. So what is oxygenic photosynthesis? The photosynthesis which involve what? What do they involve? Release of oxygen is called as oxygenic photosynthesis. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया बेटा? Purple sulfur bacteria, blue sulfur bacteria, they were also capable of making their own food, right? Correct. But they did not have the capacity to release oxygen. Okay. It is only the cyanobacteria which performed this type of photosynthesis in which oxygen could evolve. Therefore, they are called as pioneers. Pioneers का मतलब क्या होता है? The beginners, the one who initiate the process. So, who are the pioneers of oxygenic photosynthesis? 18 से 20 बार आया है ये क्वेश्चन ट्विस्ट एंड टर्न करके. तो प्लीज याद रखिए बेटा, साइनोबैक्टीरिया आर द पायोनियर्स ऑफ ऑक्सीजनिक फोटोसिंथेसिस. ठीक है, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. They are most successful and self-dependent organisms on the earth and survived successfully for more than 3 billion years. Even today, we have got the cyanobacteria. They originated when the earth evolved. See, they were the first to add oxygen to the atmosphere, which is indispensable for the existence of aerobic forms of living organisms. We all require oxygen. The first oxygen molecule which actually came on the earth via photosynthesis was due to this cyanobacteria. Great, na? Yes. What is so great in them? So they have got certain specific, they have got chlorophyll. They have got chlorophyll, right? They have got same chlorophyll as found in our plants. Chlorophyll A is going to be found in plants also. Chlorophyll A is going to be found in cyanobacteria also. Same है वो. Okay, very good question, Krishna. Very nice, beta. Bilkul sahi. Yes. So, see, they are surviving. They are, like Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. They are the most fittest organisms on this earth. They and archaebacteria also. They are going to also come aage. Red Sea is named because of the abundance of the occurrence of the planktonic cyanobacterium called as, look at the word, Trichodesmium erythraeum. You will have to remember this word, Trichodesmium erythraeum, which has given red color to the Red Sea. It imparts red color to the water. ठीक है? हाँ. If it is blue-green algae, then the blue color comes from, they are called as cyano. So they are going to have cyanin also, which is a blue color pigment. I'll talk about it. Okay? So it's going to be your cyanin, which is blue color, and chlorophyll A, which is green color. Therefore, they are called as blue-green. And they appear to be like algae, but they are bacteria. Huh? They are not eukaryotic like algae. Algae are eukaryotic. They are prokaryotic. So rather than using blue-green algae as a term, we use the term cyanobacteria. Okay? Got it? Good, good. And Trichodesmium erythraeum नहीं भूलना है, क्योंकि Trichodesmium erythraeum के ऊपर ही कुछ और एक आने वाला है आगे, जिसमें कंफ्यूजन होने के बहुत ज्यादा चांसेस है. तो मुझे वो कंफ्यूजन आपके माइंड में नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए बार बार रिपीट करा रही हूँ. Trichodesmium erythraeum is for Red Sea. Okay? Got it? Good. Then what is next? See, the cyanobacteria have chlorophyll A, similar to the green plants, and photosynthetic autotrophs. Cyanobacteria are unicellular, or they may be colonial. They may be filamentous. They can be present in fresh water. They could be marine water. They can be present as terrestrial algae. They can live anywhere and everywhere. Okay. The colonies are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheath. So this is going to be the diagram of nostoc, which is one of the examples of your cyanobacteria. And here you can see this blue color का layer over it. ये बिल्कुल clear दिखाई दे रहा है, देखो blue color, जहाँ पर उन्होंने mucilaginous sheath लिखा है. Mucilaginous sheath और gelatinous sheath is one and the same. There is no difference between them. Mucilaginous sheath का ही दूसरा नाम है gelatinous sheath, right? So they'll be covered with this gelatinous sheath. They often form blooms in polluted water bodies. So if they are in more numbers now, then it will be a problem because they form blooms. Algal blooms कैसे होते हैं ना, वैसे blooms बनाते हैं वो. Some of these organisms can fix atmospheric nitrogen in specialized cells called as heterocysts. Example is nostoc and anabaena beta. Huh? It's going to be proteinaceous sheath. It's gelatinous proteinaceous sheath. Okay, proteinaceous hota hai. Now look at this particular colony of cyanobacteria. How are they? They're attached to each other, right? They are attached to each other, correct? That's what I'm trying to explain, beta. They can fix atmospheric nitrogen. वही बता रही हूँ मैं आपको. तो ये जो cells है ना, they are blue green in color, correct? Because of the pigment A and cyanin, right? But yeah. But you know what happens? You can see this cell which is labeled as heterocyst. So see, this particular cell of the cyanobacteria in this colony, this is a colonial form, right? So one of these cells of this colony give up the function of photosynthesis. वो बोलता है नहीं, मैं photosynthesis बहुत कर चुका, अब मैं photosynthesis नहीं करूंगा. भाई इसको क्या हो गया? अब तक तो ठीक था. What happened all of a sudden? Nothing happened all of a sudden. धीरे 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 one of the cells or two of the cells of the colonies will lose their function of photosynthesis. Why? Unless and until photosynthesis was taking place, oxygen was getting liberated. Correct? Oxygen was being liberated. Now this liberated oxygen was causing aerobic conditions in that particular organism also. Correct? Now what happens is, as and when it stops photosynthesis, there will be no release of oxygen. Therefore, the conditions in those cells will become anaerobic. Agreed? Very good. In anaerobic conditions only, so only when anaerobic conditions are going to be available, will be made available, will be present, what would happen, beta? What would happen? Enzymes required for nitrogen fixation will get activated. Under anaerobic conditions only, the enzyme required for nitrogen fixation will get activated. ठीक है? तो ये हेटेरोसिस्ट ने क्या किया? उसने सैक्रिफाइस किया फोटोसिंथेसिस का, बट उसने पूरे कॉलोनी के लिए नाइट्रोजन अवेलेबल करा के दिया. नाइट्रोजन क्या करेगा? नाइट्रोजन विल बी हेल्पफुल इन मेकिंग अमीनो एसिड्स and will be helping in making proteins, bacha. So nitrogen has to be fixed. See, in the atmosphere, nitrogen is available as gas, but that is of no use to the plants or animals, right? So it needs to be fixed, means it needs to be converted into some other form by which the plants can absorb that nitrogen, right? In the same way, here also in the cyanobacterial colony, they require nitrogen now. So what will happen? A few cells in that colony will give up the function of photosynthesis and they make the conditions anaerobic. And then in those cells only, the enzyme called as nitrogenase, name is simple to remember. So the enzyme called as nitrogenase will get activated, which will then take up the atmospheric nitrogen. Got this? Clear? Understood the mechanism of the heterocyst? Hetero means different. It forms a cyst-like structure. So it is different from the other colonies. They are no, they are not harmful for fish and all. They are not harmful for fish. Okay, now is it fine? Well, so that is about your cyanobacteria. And remember the names, Nostoc, Anabena. There are many more. आगे आगे जैसे हमारा प्रोग्रेस होगा तो और नए नए नाम्स आप लोग को समझ में आएंगे. But Nostoc, Anabena are famous and most important. Okay. Then we come to chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. साइनोबैक्टीरिया क्या था बेटा, ये पढ़ो. फोटोसिंथेटिक ऑटोट्रॉफिक था ना, राइट. अभी हम क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं, कीमोसिंथेटिक ऑटोट्रॉफिक बैक्टीरिया. So chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria oxidize various inorganic substances such as nitrate, nitrite, ammonia, and use the released energy for their ATP production. Okay. So during the oxidation of these inorganic substances, whatever energy will be liberated will be trapped by these bacteria for ATP synthesis. They play a great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, sulfur, etc. So हमारे syllabus में 11th and 12th में लाकर we have to have recycling of 3 substances, 3 nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon. In our syllabus, iron and sulfur is not there. So we have got 3 cycles to be, understood. That is nitrogen, phosphorus, and iron. Okay. Good or bad bacteria? It is good. Obviously, it is good. Well, then it is heterotrophic bacteria. So photosynthetic autotrophic हो गया, chemosynthetic autotrophic हो गया. Now I'm talking about what? Heterotrophic bacteria. So see, heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant in nature. The majority are important decomposers. Many of them have a significant impact on human affairs. They are helpful in making curd from milk, production of antibiotics, fixing nitrogen in leguminous roots, etc. Some are pathogens causing damage to human beings, crops, farm animals, and pets. Cholera, typhoid, tetanus, citrus canker are well-known diseases caused by different bacteria. So ये जो majority bacteria है ना, ये heterotrophic ही है that we come across, right? So look at the serious, diseases like cholera. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae. Just now I had showed you. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. Correct? Tetanus will be caused by Clostridium tetani. There are many such names. Okay. Those who, want to go ahead in the field of microbiology, आपको तो भर भर के नाम याद रखने पड़ेंगे ये सबके, है ना. और मेडिकल में भी फर्स्ट ईयर में आपको माइक्रोबायोलॉजी के ऊपर एक पेपर है. सो 6 पेपर्स होते हैं, उसमें से 1 पेपर विल बी योर माइक्रोबायोलॉजी, MBBS first year itself. Okay, so remember the names, beta. Cholera by Vibrio cholerae, typhoid by Salmonella typhi, tetanus by Clostridium tetani. ये तीनों जो है ना, these are the diseases seen in human beings. While citrus canker is a disorder or disease of the plants. Citrus means lemon family, orange, sweet lime, lemon, ये सारे citrus है. एंड उनमें xanthomonas नाम का बैक्टीरिया है जो ये कॉज करता है. ओके, सो आई विल राइट डाउन द नेम्स ऑफ these 2 bacterium that is going to cause these infections. So first is Clostridium tetani, that is going to cause tetanus. And the second one, oh, it went only to the panelist, I guess. Has it reached you? No, na? Chal, fine. Clostridium tetani. It will go to you all now. Yeah. Received Clostridium tetani. And the second is going to be, right? Received, na? Okay, yeah. And the second is going to be your Xanthomonas, which causes citrus canker in plants. Xanthomonas, citrus canker in plants. I've put it in the chat box. See, so you can note it down. You can note it down. Citrus canker कौन cause करता है? There's going to be yellow spots on the leaves of these citrus fruits, or it could even cause brown or blackish spots on the lemon. आपने देखा होगा ये lemon के ऊपर देखा है आपने lemon के ऊपर ऐसे brownish blackish color के दाग आ जाते हैं. That is citrus canker. Ninth में था? Oh, good. Got this? Heterotrophic bacteria. Well, then we come to archaebacteria. That is what they say. Okay, let us come to archaebacteria, which is the last among your Monera. So Monera was having eubacteria, then photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria, which was cyanobacteria, then chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria, then अपना जो अभी हमने देखा citrus canker वाला, that was your heterotrophic bacteria, and the last is archaebacteria. Okay, let us see. They are ancient and the most primitive prokaryotes. The wall, that is the cell wall in archaebacteria, contains proteins which are pseudomurines. Pseudo means false. They are not true NAM and NAG. They do not have NAM and NAG. They are pseudomurines and non-cellulosic polysaccharides. It lacks peptidoglycan, the characteristic cell wall material in bacteria and cyanobacteria. So archaebacteria do not have peptidoglycan. The cell membrane contains branched chain lipids. The cell membrane contains. Cell wall is different. Cell membrane is different. Cell wall contains proteins and not peptidoglycan. And the cell membrane will be made up of branched chain lipids. Okay. This chemical composition of the cell membrane enables these organisms to withstand extremes of temperature and pH. Okay, so these organisms are capable of, overcoming the problems of temperature, pH. उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. ये मस्त जी पाते हैं ऐसे adverse condition में. What is the reason for them to survive and sustain? The branch chain lipids of their cell membrane. In your examination, in the year 2014, this question was asked, wherein they had asked about this, that select the incorrect statement among the following. And the statement was, archaebacteria are capable of surviving under extreme conditions of temperature and pressure, temperature and pH, due to the presence of branched chain lipids in their cell wall. What is wrong in this sentence? Very good, Dia. Very good. Yes. You all are correct. Yes, Siddhika, right. Bhumi, Zui. Very good. Vaishnavi, Ansh. Yes, Ruvi. Very good, beta. Yes, Palak, right, my dear. So see, they only changed cell wall. सेल मेम्ब्रेन को उन्होंने सेल वॉल बना दिया. अब हमारे दिमाग में जब हम पेपर लिखते हैं ना, एग्जाम देते हैं ना, ये इतना डिटेलिंग ध्यान में नहीं आता है. You get so nervous at that time na, that what is it? Okay, that's right. There is something called as branch chain lipids. I remember that. This is a correct statement. Arey bhai, where is it? Cell wall ki cell membrane, right? So be very careful, especially for these type of sentences. They make them incorrect. Yes, and yeah, very true, beta. Yes, Palak. These things are not mentioned anywhere in your NCERT textbooks, and भर के questions आते हैं इसके ऊपर, है ना? तो ये हमने पूरा का पूरा एक साथ इकट्ठा accumulate करके ही दिया है आपको. Okay? Yeah, you have to exactly, Shwet. You have to actually, read that each and every sentence so carefully कि इसके ऊपर क्या-क्या questions हो सकते हैं. क्या क्वेश्चंस बन सकते हैं इसके ऊपर. correct? Well, they are grouped into obligate anaerobes and facultative anaerobes. Obligate means compulsory. Okay, so what do you mean by obligate and facultative? I'll talk about it. See, obligate or strict anaerobes, they live under anaerobic conditions only, and they get killed in the presence of oxygen. So if these archaebacteria get exposed to oxygen, they'll get killed. So there are some who can tolerate, some who cannot. So some who cannot tolerate oxygen are called as obligate anaerobes. They are strict anaerobes, right? They are further divided into two groups, methanogens and halophiles. First is methanogens. They are obligate anaerobes occurring in marshy habitats. You know what is marshy habitats, na? Right? Yeah. जहाँ पर salt content ये ज़्यादा होता है, water logging ज़्यादा होता है, that is your marshes. They are capable of converting carbon dioxide and formic acid into methane, and hence they are called as methanogen. Methane को generate करने वाला, the one who generates methane are your methanogens. Got it? Right? Second is halophiles. They live in habitats having high salinity and high light intensity. So, files का मतलब होता है loving. So, these organisms love to grow in the soil which have got very high amount of salts, and they are going to have very high light intensities being exposed to. So ये जो halophiles होते हैं ये ऐसे adverse conditions में sustain करते हैं. Methanogens जो होते हैं वो methane produce करते हैं and strictly anaerobic conditions में जीते हैं. You know where is the normal methanogens found in? Methanogens maximum किस में होते हैं पता है आपको? Can you tell me किधर मिलेंगे हमें methanogens in living forms? Excellent, Ansh. Very good. Yes, Siddhika. Very correct, my dear. Yes. So it's going to be found in the guts of the ruminants, cows, cattle, जो है ना उनके ये जो ruminants कहते हैं हम लोग उसको है ना, तो ये cow में, cattle में, buffaloes में है ना, तो उनके gut में मिलेंगे, in the gut of the ruminants, and they'll be भर भर के present in that cow dung also. Okay, high light intensity means they are going to be exposed to harsh light conditions. Okay, so a lot of light will penetrate onto them. They are called as the halophiles. Okay, तो जो गोबर होता है ना, काउ डंग केक कट की करते हैं लोग, एक टिपिकल स्मेल आता है उसका, फिर वो चप्पल फेंकने का मन करता है और फेंकना चाहिए. इफ यू ब्रिंग एट होम, पूरे घर में वो मस्त गोबर का स्मेल आता रहेगा, राइट? Yeah, that is that typical smell because of the methane gas which is being produced by these methanogens. It's very bad now. Yeah, anyways, but you know, like in olden days now, there were people in the villages who used to use that cow dung to, yeah, they used to make a paste, a slurry of it, and they used to, you know, actually clean their areas with that, you know, उसका एक पूरा paste लगा देते थे ऐसा. No, they don't contribute in pollution. They are very good. Okay, they are very good. They'll not have any. Rather, you know, like there are people who drink the urine of cows. Right? Yeah, exactly. Yes, cow dung के cakes भी बनाते हैं वो लोग for burning as fuels. Yes, correct. Yes. Yeah. They are very pure. They are not going to contaminate any air, water, or anything. Okay. Cow dung on face? No, that's the last thing I would do. Okay, so you understood what are these obligate or strict anaerobes, beta? They cannot survive even traces. On the other hand, when we talk about the facultative anaerobes, now they are actually aerobes, but they can sustain in anaerobic condition also. उसको हम कहते हैं facultative, means they can shift from their mode of respiration. If you know, like oxygen becomes unavailable, still they can survive. उनको हम कहते हैं facultative. So see who are the facultative. See, facultative anaerobes. These normally respire aerobically but are capable of withstanding anaerobic conditions as well quite comfortably. The archaebacteria in this category are thermoacidophiles. As the name says, thermo means high temperature, acido means high acidity, and philes means loving. So they love to grow in high temperatures and acidic conditions. These are capable of tolerating high temperatures as well as high acidity, and hence the name thermoacidophile. They often live in hot water springs where the temperature is as high as 80 degrees Celsius and the pH is as low as pH 2. They oxidize sulfur to sulfuric acid under aerobic conditions, and energy is obtained in these reactions in which they'll utilize it for synthesis of organic food. If the medium becomes anaerobic, then what will happen? See, under anaerobic conditions, sulfur is reduced to hydrogen sulfide. So either they'll make acid, sulfuric acid, or they'll make hydrogen sulfide gas, and they will sustain. The medium becomes highly acidic due to the production of sulfuric acid. Yes. So because of this sulfuric acid, they are happy to live in that zone where the acidity is very low. Okay. What is the pH of our stomach? Does anyone know? pH of our stomach. कितना होता है? Any guesses? Oh, Dhruv, very nice, beta. Dhruv is perfect with his answer. Very correct. No, it's not 5. It's not 4. Anyone else who would give a guess? Okay, Zui, you're close. Yes, Shwet, you're right. You're right. Yes, Siddhika, even you're right. Yes, it's around 2 to 2.5. Okay, it's around 2 to 2.5. Fine. So that is what is about your facultative anaerobes. ठीक है, इधर तक पूरी कहानी समझ में आ गई आपको कि है कोई डिफिकल्टी अभी भी? Easy. Good. The last one is mycoplasmas. They are not coming strictly under bacteria because, see, mycoplasma are organisms that completely lack a cell wall. So that's why I said they cannot come exactly under bacteria because all bacteria will have a cell wall, right? They are the smallest living cells known and they can survive without oxygen. Many mycoplasmas are pathogenic in animals and plants and they appear like fried egg on the culture medium. So if you try to grow these mycoplasmas on the agar plates, they appear like fried egg colonies. So we just break the egg and pour it on that hot pan. How will it look like? It will spread everywhere. That white portion and that yellow portion will be in some of the areas. One area. Like that they appear. So anywhere you come across these words called as fried egg colony, it is associated with mycoplasma. They are always pathogenic. They are always pathogenic. They can cause infections in animals also and in plants also. And they keep on changing their shapes. So they are called as pleuropneumonia-like organisms. Pleuro means many. Many shapes. They can change their shapes continuously. Pleuropneumonia-like. Culture medium is the medium which is going to contain nutrients for the growth of these bacteria. That is called as culture medium. Okay. So we make these mediums artificially for growing bacteria. Got it? What is the meaning of culture medium? Well, so that's all about your Monera altogether. We complete with Monera entirely. Have you all understood Monera perfectly? Is there any doubt? Is there any difficulty in understanding Monera, beta? पूरा समझा? Okay. Well, so let us not go ahead with Protista today because Monera was extensive and we have done entirely. And I just don't want to bombard you all with something just for the sake of going ahead with the portion. It's okay. Okay. No, don't worry. I'll not start with Protista today. Protista I'll start in the next class only because Protista is not that extensive. हाँ ना Protista इतना लंबा चलेगा ना fungi इतना लंबा चलेगा बेटा है ना. तो डोंट वरी, सिर्फ मोनेरा ही था जो सबसे simplest yet most complex था, हाँ या ना? It was simplest yet most complex ना? Yeah. A form of English. You know what is that called as? Grammatically, what is it called as? Simplest yet complex. उसको क्या कहते हैं ग्रामर में? चलो थोड़ा सा ग्रामर देखती हूँ तुम लोग का इंग्लिश कैसा है. Exactly. Very good. Very good. Yes. Very correct. You all are right with your answers. Yes. So that is what I have used over here, right? Yeah. Hyperbole and irony. Correct. Anyways, so I won't go ahead with protesta today. Any difficulties regarding till whatever we have done? Anyone has any difficulties? किसी को कोई है बेटा डाउट है कोई? Protesta onwards सब और easy हो जाएगा. It's not going to be difficult for protesta. It's very simple. No ना? चलो fine. Thank you so much. So see you all in the next week with protesta. Huh. Both chromosomes and chromatophores are chlorophyll. Yeah. Huh. Okay, fine. So my dears, next week we'll meet with protesta and we'll go ahead with the chapter of biological classification ahead. Okay, bye my dears. See you all soon. And yeah, happy weekend. Study nicely for your Sunday test. It's going to be again based on your living world only, right? Do it nicely, my dear. Thank you, my dear. Bye. See you all. 50 MCQs. Yes. 50 MCQs का test है. Yes. Okay.